time of year it is? It's spawning time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for rainbows and cutthroats, cut bows, start doing their jam in the river. Depending on where you are, if you know it's spawning season, this is a good time to take some time off. At least leave those fish alone. Stay off the reds. And by all means, do not fish with these things because this is not fly fishing, okay? For you semi-purists. Do yourself a favor. If you're a guide or you're a client, this is not teaching you how to fly fish, okay? It's teaching you how to catch fish, which you can do that with a spinning rod and Uncle Josh's salmon eggs. But these trout beads, they're super effective. I see a lot of guides out there with 2 or 3 of these things on the rigs they have their clients fishing with. You guys aren't teaching your clients anything. Why don't you teach them how to fish with flies instead of plastic beads on their line? I know you're wondering, what am I doing with this? Well, I manage the fly shop. They give us everything for free. This is a package I have. If you count these beads, they're all still in here, okay? So, dudes, gals, don't fish with plastic trout beads. Again, it's disheartening. I see a lot of guys out there that'll be rigged up with like a San Juan worm and 2 trout beads underneath it. I mean, really? Are you teaching your clients anything? I mean, if you want to teach them how to fight fish, just grab the line and run around for a while with it. So, that's my opener. Being grumpy. Stay away from the reds. Don't fish with trout beads, ever. Fish with flies that you tie, alright, guys and gals? Do us all a favor. Okay, with that said, LG, the Grumpy Fly Fisherman, clearly. Let me get this dialed in. This is going to be my first fly tying video for you guys on the channel. My background, I've been tying flies for 35 years, 40 years. I was a guide for 20. I'm going to show you the flies that I used when I guided. Simple flies to tie that work. Not going to get into a bunch of detail. My flies don't look very good all the time, but they work, which is all we really want. Flies that work. And as far as time on the vise, they're not going to take a lot of your time up. You can tie, at least a dozen an hour of a lot of these patterns. I'm going to start you off with one of my all-time favorites. It's a little emerger. I got the pattern out of an old South Platte fishing guide. I'll have to get the name of the book for you. I have it somewhere. But I kind of modified the pattern and it's been a killer for me. Anytime we're doing fishing around mayfly season, especially blue and olive season, which is now on the verge of happening in Colorado with the warmer temperatures and the water starting to open up, this fly crushes. And you can tie it in different sizes, different colors if you prefer, but I'm just going to show you my standard, and it'll work for you. And you can see it, even though it's small. That's one of the beauties. So, with that, I'm going to turn this thing off, and we'll go back to my other camera. The Grumpy Fly Fisherman, about to share some secrets with you guys. All right, YouTubers. Thanks for checking in. We're going to tie up my favorite emerger that I've been using for 30 some odd years. This thing just absolutely crushes fish, and it's a secret. I haven't shared this with anybody, but you guys are going to get it first. Again, my background, 20 years of guiding. This was one of my go-tos. I'm going to tie it a little big for you today. You can tie it on whatever hook you prefer, but I'm going to tie it today in a size 16, which is big. I typically don't fish this fly smaller than or bigger than an 18. 18s, 20, sometimes 22s, occasionally a 16, but so you can see it. I'm going to do it on the 16 today. For purposes, use whatever your favorite dry fly hook is, or whatever you like to tie emergers on. I don't tie this on a curved hook. I like it on a flat, traditional dry fly hook, straight eye in this case. And this is a Daiichi that we're fishing. It's an 1110. Right there. This is my first, I'm trying to figure out the video thing. what the best lighting options are and whatnot. Let me turn this overhead off. So yeah, your favorite dry fly hook. And then my go-to now, I really like using the Viva stuff. This is a 16-aught tan from Vivas. So you can see that. Again, everything's going to be backwards because I'm upside down right now. And all we're going to do is we're going to start our thread like we always do. You can start it wherever you want. Third of the way back on the hook is fine. Whatever works for you. However you want to tie. I'm good with that. Again, my flies are not the best looking flies in the world, but boy, they work. And this is one of my go-to flies as a guide for years, especially blue wing season and mayfly season. My thread's already jacked up. Hang on. Okay. So, what we're tying here is, it's a Mayfly Emerger imitation. Get the thread back towards the bend of the hook, and then I like to use a brown dubbing. This is going to simulate the case, the nymph shuck that the fly is actually emerging out of. This is pretty fine dubbing. I have a lot of success tying with coarse dubbing in this pattern. We're going to bring that forward. Sparse is good. And leave yourself some room here for the wing case and the thorax. One of the mistakes most of us make is beginning tires is we don't leave enough room on the hook to finish the fly, which can be a problem. So you don't want to run out of room. So leave yourself some room to work with. And then we're going to tie in. This is bleached Comparadon hair. It's soft, it's supple, it's easy to work with, especially when you're building a wing case. I'm going to clip off, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 pieces. Pull my guard hairs out, and then we're just going to tie this in, tips back, like so. And again, this is a fly that's super simple to tie, and it works really well. Like when everybody else is frustrated on the river, especially in smaller sizes. Okay, so we've got our wing case tied in, and now all we're going to do, depending on the mayfly maybe you're trying to imitate, I like to use anything from a light olive to a yellow, maybe a PMD type imitation emerger for the thorax. So dubbing dispenser, we're going to go kind of an olive yellow. You guys can put your dubbing on however you want. They're your flies and we're going to build our thorax. Not using any dubbing wax right now on this. Going to build that up a little bit more. And for this, I like to use a fine dubbing so we can make it tight. Get it to lay down nice and flat and tight. And then you're going to pull that hair over like so. And then at this point, I just like to do like 2 or 3 whip finish, half hitches. It's not even a whip finish, just half hitch 2 or 3 times. If you want to put a little dab of Zap-A-Gap on there, you can. And I'm going to trim that thread, and then just trim your tips off. Boom, that's the fly. You can tie 2 dozen of these in an hour. And again, this is a size 16. I like to tie it in 18s, 20s, 22s. It's a staple. It has been for many, many years. This thing crushes. Okay, it's just a Mayfly Emerger. That's it. No fancy names. I don't care what the fly is called as long as it's working. So, that's the Grumpy Fly Fisherman sharing secrets with you right there. Probably have caught more fish on that bug than anything ever on the surface. Okay, that's it. Tie them up, go fishing. Please subscribe to the channel because I got more secrets coming up. We'll do my stillborn trude here in the next few days, especially with dry fly season, early dry fly season getting ready to kick off. All right, man. Thanks for checking in. Please subscribe to the channel. And that's your first fly from LG. Super easy. Tie a bunch. Kill it. I'm out.